Alright, today here on Father's House, we're going to learn how to rebuild batteries. Batteries are some of the essentials of everyday living of today's life, and we're going to learn what it takes to make them run. Batteries are nothing less than a chemical reaction enclosed in a box. And I'm going to take this old car battery that's worn out, and I'm going to rebuild it with some new chemicals. And if you want to be mechanics, if you want to do maintenance, everyday maintenance in your everyday lives on your vehicles, then this is how to do it. Okay, so I'm going to take and remove these caps. And what I'm trying to do is remove these caps. And I apologize, you're looking through a four-wheeler rack, but that's the only way I had to hold my phone. And some of these things is good for everyday life and learning and what it takes to make it through everyday life. So I'm doing the best I can. Please bear with me. So what I'm doing, this battery is made in Korea. Okay, and what I think they do, honestly, okay, I think they glue these caps on here so you can't take them off. So you can't rebuild them, or supposedly can't rebuild them. So what I'm trying to do right now is just get them off. So then I can fill it with some chemicals that's going to be the opposite pH of what this battery holds. That way it's going to eat off the corrosion off of the plates. Okay, and I'm going to tell you the chemicals that it takes to do this certain thing is baking soda and distilled water. Okay, because that's going to have a high pH. It's going to have a pH way above, I can tell you right now, I'm already going to have to make some new caps for this battery. But that's alright, because I'm going to use it. I'm going to use whatever I can necessary, because I don't have $200 to invest in a special battery that has to fit a certain way, and it's got to be a certain size. Comment below how you're sick and tired of auto dealers and the man trying to run you around on the dollar. In my heavens, I'm looking for all defenses. So I'm looking for a way around what I believe could be the possible mark, the almighty dollar. Think about that good one for a minute. And I'm going to try to get into this battery, because I need a crowbar or something different. Be back in a sec. Okay, so I broke free with the caps that was on top of the battery. So I'm able now to drain the battery and get the acid out, the old acid that's no good anymore. Okay, so check it out. What's in there right now is dirty. That's why the battery ain't no good, because all that chemical reaction is fighting itself, because we have all kind of small particles that are in the bottom of the battery. Okay, it basically needs cleaned out. All that corrosion, it gets to it over time, and all this cold weather here lately, that's what did it. And this battery now needs new acid, and I'm going to clean the plates just a little bit. We now got the caps off. I'm going to show you this solution. I put half a box of baking soda per 2 liter of distilled water, and I'm going to pour it in this battery after I drain the acid out, and it's going to clean them plates. So that's what we're going to do right now. I want y'all to know this: 20 parts of alkaline stabilize 1 part of acid. 20 parts. Remember that. That'll come in handy one day. Okay, and now I'm going to time lapse cleaning the battery plates, rinsing it out with the baking soda distilled water solution. Again, I've got half a box of baking soda per 2 liter. I don't have the bottles filled completely up because it's kind of irrelevant. The stronger I mix it, the quicker it's going to wear the plates out. The weaker I mix it, the less success I have. I'm kind of in a range of time that's limited, and I have what I have, so I'm going to use what I have. Okay, now what you're seeing is a chemical reaction. The bubbles is what lets you know that it's cleaning the plates off. Okay, and the more that it bubbles, okay, the better it is. And once it quits bubbling, of course, you don't want it to stop bubbling all the way, because that means that it's going to eat your battery plates completely down. You really don't want to do that. You just want to clean them a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run probably for 2 minutes, because this battery is not that old. I'm going to let it soak about 2 minutes, clean the plates a little bit, and I'm going to rinse this battery about 3 or 4 times with distilled water to try to get all that baking soda out, because when I put the acid in there, I do not want this thing to have a chemical reaction to the baking soda. So that's what I'm trying to do. Alright, so I'm going to leave this battery draining. I'm going to leave it soaking out and draining for probably 5-6 hours. I want every bit of that baking soda to leave that battery. That way when we put our new acid in, it will react with the least amount as possible to the baking soda. But it's going to be pretty strong anyway, so yeah, 20 parts acid, 20 parts alkaline neutralizes 1 part acid. So yeah, just make sure I'm saying that right. So yeah, it's going to be pretty strong. The battery acid that's going back into this battery, the pH is going to be somewhere around 5.5 to 6. Okay, if you know chemicals and if you know the battery post, you can make a battery. All you need to know is the pH of the chemical that you're dealing with, whether you want an alkaline or acid battery. Okay, the post. Okay, if it's an acid battery, okay, you're going to want probably aluminum or zinc as the cathode. The cathode is always the negative. Okay, now for the positive end, you're always going to want copper or iron as the anode. The anode is going to be the positive end. Okay, different metals react differently with certain chemicals. Okay, and you stick two different metals that are opposite, and it's going to have a reaction between the two depending on your chemical in between. Okay, if that makes any sense. I hope that every person that gets this information is going to be able to build a battery. Okay, because I want you to be self-independent and not have to be dependent on the man or the government. God bless you.